Hello, hello, and welcome to today's channeled Wisdom Circle. I am Light Guardian Goddess Iman, in case you missed it. Monica is on vacation for this week, so I will be taking over with the channeled Wisdom Circles this Monday through Friday, and also recapping. All of the Light Guardians has a stream of consciousness that one of the streams that makes up the collective consciousness that's connected to each of us as light guardians. So during this week, I will be channeling my particular stream from the cosmic collective consciousness to bring you all the messages, okay? The wisdom, the gems, the sauce. You know how we do. And today, we are talking about honoring your truth and living from your heart. So, when it comes to honoring your truth in this physical realm and in regards to spirituality, one thing to understand is that the truth of who you are is connected to your path, it's connected to your purpose, it's connected to your gifts, and all of these things. All of the soul contracts that you signed on to before coming here, all of those beautiful plans that were made, is connected to the truth within you, right? Recently, like Guardian Dominic had a LG talk and was speaking about removing the masks, right? Removing those illusions of who you are, removing the illusions of the truth so you can acknowledge who you are as well as be available for all the great things that's to come, right? So, with that, you have to listen more, listening more to what's going on inside of you, what energy you're feeling, what emotions you're feeling, and call back to the divinity session, not judging that, being the eye in the forest, right? And seeing yourself as you are in whatever particular moment that it is, and honoring that, acknowledging the things that you may be feeling or experiencing, thinking at a particular time, is to help guide you on your journey. And with that listening, making sure that you cut out the noise. You're not constantly consuming social media, news broadcasts, or whatever it is, right? All of these things are here in this physical realm a lot of the times to distract you from your path, from your purpose, from the truth of who you are, right? Getting you to give your power away to something else instead of seeing yourself as the God, your God form standing in that. So when it comes to honoring your truth and the message of this particular day, build the practice of tuning within, of really checking in with yourself. What is going on internally? What's going on with you mentally? What's going on in your energy system, right? Tapping into your vessel. Because it's easy to get caught up in what's happening in the world, get caught up in the 9 to 5s or whatever your work hours are, getting caught up in those things that don't matter, right? The things outside of those three pillars, and then you're likely to begin to ignore what your vessel is experiencing, what it needs for nurturing to be well, all of these things. And another thing that's coming through to say right now, when it comes to honoring your truth and connected to that message from the divinity session of not judging yourself, just observing, is recognizing that a lot of the programming and conditioning that you likely experienced in this lifetime took you away from your center, away from the truth of who you are. And with that, I want to say very clearly, so you understand, to deny your truth, to deny yourself, is to deny your soul and is to deny your purpose. I'm going to run it back one more time. To deny yourself is to deny your soul and your purpose. So when you are tapped in, when you are connected to your center and you're listening to the wisdom and the messages that's coming through for you, acknowledging the fact that the way your intuition works, it speaks your language. It's not going to come to you the way that it comes to somebody else. It's going to speak your language. It's going to communicate through what your strongest gifts are. And that's another aspect of honoring yourself. If you're not honoring yourself, honoring your truth, you won't be receiving those messages because you're trying to receive it in a way that someone else does and not true to who you are, not true to how it comes through for you. So again, with the message of denying yourself is to deny your soul and deny your purpose. I said before, your soul knows why you came here. It has the whole game plan, the entire blueprint, breakdown, the script of the checkpoints that you need to get to. And when you deny that, when you ignore those things, when you diminish and close off your heart from being open, from being receptive, that's what leads to a lot of the anxiety, the depression, all these other things, because your soul is, I'm gonna be real, okay? Your soul is tired of you and the fool-la-la. It's tired of being ignored. It's tired of being cast aside so you can focus on something that does not matter. Focus on something that was not the mission and reason why you came here. So listen more. The Divine Mother Monica Bay gave us the exercise of being able to connect to your soul. Do that. Even if it's new to you, even if you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't really know what my gifts are, all of these things may be new to you. Practice, start, be open to the experience. And the reason why I say experience is because, like I said before, some people get caught in the trap of trying to experience their intuition in a way that is not innate to them, that is not their natural strength. Example, if you are someone who is clairsentient, meaning your intuition speaks to you through feeling, right? Feeling in the body, feeling internally, emotions and things. But you are so tunnel vision focused on only receiving a physical vision, you're going to ignore everything else that's going on in your body and your vessel that's actively receiving the messages. It's like, it's trying to talk to you over here, but like, shut up. I want to see it right here. Don't give me the intuition this way. I want it right here. Why are you denying your truth? Why deny who you are? I know the why. It's because this is the programming of this physical reality. But now that you are aware of it, why allow that to continue? Choose something different. Choose yourself. Choose to live from your heart. Live from the frequency of love, the embodiment of that. Understanding that the things that is aligned with you, with your soul, with your purpose, they're going to light you up. That's, again, your soul knows why I came here. So it gets excited when you getting on to the mission, when you're in alignment with the path. Those things are, what's coming to me right now is those are your first true loves. Your path, your purpose, the mission, your soul. But in our life experiences, a lot of that gets dimmed. It gets muddled. It gets ignored, cast aside, thrown in the trunk. Okay. And the more that you lean into those moments of joy, of peace, acknowledging that truth within you, acknowledging when your soul is calling you into alignment, those small intuitive nudges, leaning into that, honoring that truth, even if you may not be able to actively connect with it or actively apply it in that moment, honoring the truth that this is what you're drawn to, not being caught up in the way that your family in this lifetime, in this vessel, what their patterns and traditions are. What's true to you? Because in reality, in truth, in fact, we are only most of the family that we come from, that we view as family, we're only connected through blood, through the vessel, okay? We came from the same manufacturer. Our cars came from the same manufacturer. That's it. But the sole purposes and missions that you have versus what your parents have versus what your siblings, cousins, nephews, aunties, uncles have can be completely different. And that's okay. But you have to honor your truth and be courageous enough to allow that. Be courageous enough to step out on your own way, understanding that, again, those soul contracts, there are people that's waiting for you to step up, waiting for you to be who you are, to shine your light, to open your heart, waiting to make those soul connections. And that we're all here to give something. We're all here to give something, we're all here to learn something, we're all here to grow. And those different connections that we have along the way, those soul contracts, I don't know why this popped in my head, y'all, but we're gonna rock with it. Michael Jackson's video, Billie Jean, when the floor is lighting up as he's moving forward. That's how it is. You don't have to know the full destination. Take a step. Allow your light to be lit up, ignited, turned on in those moments. Then take the next step. And doing that while also tuning within, connecting with your soul, connecting with your guides, your spirit guides, your higher self, all of these things, and just taking the next step that lights you up. Going forward on that path to learn your personal frequency. And I say that, learning your personal frequency, because one, everything is frequency, everything is energy. We know these things, yes, and to conceptualize it. Learning your personal frequency is being able to, again, it's tuning in, it's being able to listen to yourself more and really pick up on the nuances of the messages that's coming through to you. Being able to pick up on the very small details of what your guides are telling you, how your soul is trying to steer you, and understanding when the ego is cutting up. When your ego, the version of self that accepts this physical reality as is, that accepts this human form as all there is sometimes, being able to understand when those changes are happening, when someone else is hopping in the driver's seat, when it's not your soul, when it's your ego, when it's your traumas, when it's your dramas. When you learn your personal frequency, you become very aware and keenly attuned to whenever there's static that needs to be cleared, whenever you are in active coherence, when you are in that alignment, when you are balanced in harmony, when you're living your truth. And to learn your personal frequency, you have to cut out the noise. Sometimes you may have to go into solitude for a little bit to tune back into you, because some aspect of yourself is calling for your attention. It may be that you have to turn down some of those social outings because it's a distraction and you have your purpose to focus on at this time, or you have your vessel to focus on at this time. Learning your personal frequency, honoring your truth, being that eye in the forest, observing it all without being pulled into this broadcast, without being taken off track with that broadcast of what someone else is doing, thinking, or feeling, not internalizing those things, but again, remaining tuned into your broadcast, tuned into your center. And with this, also, a big part of it is being open to self-acceptance. I mentioned before, sometimes, a lot of the times in this life, in this world, we've had this different programming of how to be, what to like, what's good and what's bad, what we should focus on, what we shouldn't focus on. And a lot of the times that is skewed by systems that want you powerless and want you focused somewhere else instead of on your power, on yourself. Message number one. And from people who have not yet learned their own personal frequency, that have not yet come into their own sense of alignment, but they're simply carrying out the same routines and patterns that was passed down to them without questioning it. So with me saying that, question what your motivation is for these different things that you're doing, that you're thinking, that you're gravitating towards. Is it in alignment with your truth, with your soul, with your spirit, with your well-being and vessel? Or is it aligned with what someone else told you to do? What someone else told you to believe? Or what someone else expects of you? I'm going to take a sip on that one. Mystic Temple mug, y'all. If it's what someone else expects of you, because it's easy to get caught up in this, again, is connecting to the divinity session message of not allowing other people to judge you, not being moved by, programmed by other people's judgments, other people's expectations of who you're supposed to be. Because again, they can have a different path, different purpose. Their mission may, I don't know why, send them to Antarctica or Alaska or something. Your mission may be in Ohio. That's okay. You don't have to, and you shouldn't, okay? Message. You don't have to, and you shouldn't go off of your path to get someone else on theirs. That's a word. I felt that in my chest, yo. You don't have to go off of your path to get someone else on theirs. Acknowledging that we all have our own experiences. We all have our own journeys, needs, lessons, things to grow through, things to overcome, challenges, and so on, soul contracts that we each signed onto for this life. And it can, I know in my journey, I have at times gotten caught up in trying to help someone else heal, trying to help someone else get on their path. And in that, I've had to realize, and I've also seen it with clients as well, but a part of that journey sometimes is letting go of that expectation of others, that someone else is supposed to be on this path with you. It's okay to walk your path alone. You're not going to be alone the entire time, because again, we have the soul contracts. Your tribe is waiting for you. But there are periods where you may have to go at it alone. You may have to stand up for what you believe, and that may not be the same as the people around you. It's okay to walk your path alone. It's okay to honor those cycles and those periods of time when the solitude is necessary. Because again, it's about learning your personal frequency. It's about tuning within and listening more. This is how you honor your truth. You have to be able to hear it and receive it first. And with me saying that, and being open to the self-acceptance, acknowledge that in this lifetime, you are not the same person the entire time. We came here to grow. So there will be rebirths. There will be aspects of yourself that you let go to get to your next level. That may be wanting to stay in the background when your purpose is front and center. That version of you that was comfortable in the background or only allowed that may have to fall away. And growing through those periods of rebirth and having self-acceptance within that journey, that metamorphosis, right? All that experience can be. It may be a little emotional. You may have to cry and release some things during those times of your transformation. And making sure that I say this before I move on. Crying is your body's way of releasing. So why are you stifling it? Your body wants to release this. Let it go. I'm not saying it's always easy. I'm not saying that there's not social conditioning around different people showing emotions and all of these things. I understand it. I had to grow through it myself. Yes, and acknowledging those moments when your body, your vessel needs to release, needs to cry, to not honoring your truth, honoring those moments and not holding that in, not stifling that, because at that point, you're interrupting your growth. You're interfering with what could be the beautiful blossoming of who you are. You're not allowing those tears to water your becoming because of someone else's judgment, someone else's expectation of how you should be, how you should express. Honoring your truth is also honoring your emotions, whether they feel good in that moment or whether they, have you going through it a little bit to release. Honoring that and having self-acceptance of that entire journey, since I'm speaking about that right now, I'm guided to go a little bit deeper. For anyone who is or has experienced that particular conditioning that it's not okay for you to cry, that you're supposed to hold everything in, that you're supposed to be stoic and emotionless. Honoring the point in your journey when you're growing out of that, but that conditioning is still affecting you, right? I'm going to say this, and there's caveats to it. Nothing happens overnight. And when I say that, I'm saying it to mean giving yourself grace on the journey, every step of it. Healing does not have to take years, decades, centuries. No, ma'am, no spam, no turkey. It does not. But in knowing that, also not trying to put yourself in a box of thinking, feeling, expecting that it has to happen instantly. Honoring that a part of your journey, a part of your truth, and the self-acceptance that is required for that moment. Come on now. The self-acceptance that is required for that moment may be you going through that process of shedding these weights, of releasing that external pressure, that external judgment for you to learn how to tune into your truth, accept it, honor it, and allow it without judgment. So on this particular example that I'm giving, there may be times when you need to cry and you want to let it go and it just won't come out. Because your body, your vessel has automated, this is not safe, I'm not going to do it. But still honoring the truth of that moment. Still honoring and holding space for the fact that your body, your spirit needs to release whatever this is. And it may be that you utilize a different method of releasing that moment. It may be that you just give yourself the space, again, going back to that solitude, to tune into your personal frequency, tune into your own energy, to honor that moment, that something is coming up that wants to be released. And you may not be able to release it at that moment. That's okay. In that example and any other example that is resonating with you right now, honoring your truth is also honoring every step of your becoming and giving gratitude for that becoming. It's funny, I made this comment recently about going through a rebirth and the fact that I am birthing myself. And there are some labor pains with that. So think about it in that context. It's going to be wonderful and beautiful once you are reborn. Yes, and that rebirth process, there will be some growing pains. Honoring that, honoring your truth, honoring the journey that you're going on, and also not ignoring the gems and wisdom that you're gaining along the way. Because I said before, to deny yourself is to deny your soul and deny your purpose. The three pillars, let's do a callback to the three pillars, is your vessel, your life purpose, and your soul growth. So if you're denying yourself, you're denying your soul the opportunities to grow, to evolve, to be reborn, right? We go through many rebirths in a singular lifetime if we allow it, if we lean in, if we're open to receiving that. So, with this message of the day, the question is, and it's coming to me now, so let me let it marinate. Where do you need to honor your truth more? Where do you need to honor your truth more? And that's the question specifically, because it may be that you are, for the most part, honoring the truth of who you are. You may be embodying a certain level of self-acceptance. But the growth, the direction that you're going to, the trajectory, it may require more self-acceptance. It may require more self-love. It may require more fine-tuning of your personal frequency, of your awareness of it. Because as you are evolving, going through your rebirths, leveling up, all of these things, your personal frequency is also changing, right? You're not exactly the same person you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago. Your frequency is going to be a little different, a little more evolved. There may be some higher tones in there that's coming through now that now you have to attune yourself to listen to pay attention to. It may be that your gifts are getting stronger, and now your spiritual gifts are getting stronger. And now the message comes through slightly different, or it's more subtle because now you've strengthened this part of yourself. Now it's a new muscle that needs to be built. So beginning to wrap it up with a quick recap. Cut out the noise. And if you're, come on now, if you are aware on the miles walked, if you stay present on the miles walked, right, you'll know when a certain thing, experience, or connection has become noise, static, out of alignment, right? Cutting out the noise. Cutting out the noise that may be temporary. It may be, I just need this solitude for introspection and retrospection for 3, 4 days. That may be all that's required. But to determine that, you have to tune into you. What is required for your well-being, for your growth, to align with your soul purpose, to tune to your personal frequency in that moment. You got to tune in for that. I can give examples, but the message is honoring your truth. So start listening for that. Start paying attention to it. Start being open to that experience, however it comes. Honor your truth and live from your heart. And ask yourself that question today and going forward. Where do you need to honor your truth more? And with that, we are going to close out today's Channeled Wisdom Circle. I thank you all for showing up for yourself. And until next time, be well and thrive, y'all. Perpetually.